Okay, so that moment what we were discussing about that how to create a variable inside of the JavaScript. Okay, so I told you that one method is that mostly used JavaScript HTML method that is called document.getElementById. By id. This is a method mostly used in JavaScript. It is a HTML method used in JavaScript to find out the HTML element with the ID demo. Okay, and with this attribute, with this property, otherwise you can say inner HTML property will be used to change the content of the HTML element. Okay, so this code written means variable created with the constant keyword inside of the script. So let us practice this code as it is. So now I want to totally erase this total code. Okay, and we will write the code again. Okay, this is the code window, this is the result window. Okay, once the code is written here, that will be displayed. So first dk doc type. Okay, try to understand doc type. Initially we need to keep exclamation. Okay, and then doc type small html. Okay, now under this next you need to keep tag of html. This is called html element start tag. Now once element started with start tag, so element to be close with the end tag. So now this is called html element. Every element has two tags, start tag, this is the end tag. Now one element will be called as including both start tag and tag. Okay, so next body section. Under the body section, body element first tag is start tag and close this with end tag. Okay, body element to be closed with the body end tag. Now these two start tag and end tag will be called as an element. Now under this word we need to write the header section. Under the header section 1, so many headers are there, we need to write JavaScript. Okay, whatever the content you want to display on the screen, whatever the content as a header, whatever that is up to you. Okay, it doesn't mean you can write anything. Okay, whatever the content you want to show on the screen, so that is to be written inside of the header section, means header element, start tag and end tag. End tag is what you know, I told you that this is the tag, this is the syntax. So this is what end tag of header element. So this is the start tag of header element, end tag of header element. So inside of that, this content to be displayed, so that will be displayed on the screen. Next, under this, what is this? Creating a variable. One more header, if you want to give one more header, so you can refer this as header 2. So like what you know, creating variables, creating a variable. You know, now close this with what? One more end tag, header end tag. This is start tag. Now next word, under the paragraph element P, paragraph element, under the paragraph section, paragraph element closed with P. Now under this, this total is called an element. So this total is called an element, but inside of that element this content written. Okay, under the header element with start tag, end tag, we have written this content that will be displayed. So under this page, this is paragraph element, we need to write what you know, we need to create id. Id is equal to what? I told you that by that id, that method, what method? Get element by id method. So by this method, okay, this is a demo attribute. Okay, demo by this id is an attribute, this is the value assigned to the id attribute. So by this id, method will identify, method will find the HTML element. So now come, so HTML code, how to write the HTML code inside of the scripts. Okay, I told you that script inside of the script. So script that is to be kept inside of these smaller than, greater than symbols. Okay, now script element started with script start tag, it is to be closed with script end tag, end tag. Okay, now come to the point. Now your script element started. Okay, now inside of the, I told you that JavaScript code always will be written inside of the script. So now here your content is what, your topic is what, to create a variable. So variable, I told you that either let keyword, otherwise var keyword. I told you that, so this keyword will be used to create a variable at the time of old browser up to 2015. Then after let keyword started, so now this is the new era. So let keyword, so car is a variable name. Let keyword will be used to create a variable car. So now what is the name of this value which will be stored in this car variable, that is fiat. Okay, now come to the point. Okay, now try to understand what happened here in JavaScript. This is a variable name car. So it is created with the let keyword. I told you that let keyword will be used the time when the value of a car, any variable will be changed. That moment let will be used. If you don't want to change any car, any variable value, you simply use constant keyword. Constant keyword will be used. It means that that variable value can't be changed. If you feel that in further I want to change that variable value, so maybe in place of fiat you can use somewhat driver, whatever. Okay, Renault driver, like that. So let keyword will be used. So now what happened, under this script tags, this is okay, you have create a variable. Now then after, how to access that, I told you that one method mostly used, that is get element method by id. Okay, method always have what, these two parentheses. Every method or function has two parentheses. Then after dot, then after what, I told you that id. So that id, that is to be what, here I need to mention the demo. Okay, id attribute holding what, id attribute, this id attribute holding this demo value. So I need to pass the demo value here. Then after inner HTML, by this inner HTML property, it will change the content of the HTML element. So that element changes for what, so that is what, your driver. It displays what, driver. So here we can keep a string here. Okay, car, it is a string type I want to display here. Then after, so now see what happened. So this variable car, it is holding this value. So this is called HTML element. Okay, so this element means variable, how it will be identified by this method, get element by id method. So this is the HTML method mostly used in JavaScript. By this id is equals demo, this element will be identified and the result will be displayed as this. Okay, so this code, once it is called variable created inside of the JavaScript tags, script start tag, end tag. This is the way how to create a variable in the Okay, JavaScript